Hello everyone and welcome along to another Rugby World Cup squad naming discussion. This is a pretty big one as well, with the All Blacks tonight, just an hour or two ago, announcing their 31-man squad for the 2015 Rugby World Cup. Now, this is the final few days of squad naming, so there's going to be a lot of these coming up in the next few days. Over the next week, probably there'll be a lot of these coming up as well. We have the likes of England, who I'm arranging a special guest from those parts of the world to join me for his thoughts as well on the English squad, and I'm hoping as well I can get his thoughts on other sides like Wales and Ireland, and so stay tuned for that coming your way as well over the next week or so. We also have South Africa naming their squad a couple of days ago, which I'll be looking to get some insight from a guest on that one as well. But for today, for now, it will be the All Blacks naming their 31-man squad. And if you watched my little prediction video on the All Blacks squad, you know exactly what I thought should be picked for this All Blacks team. And I have to say, straight off the bat, we'll dig straight into it, I have to say, I was pretty close. And as a result, from what has been picked, I am pretty happy with the 31 they have gone with. So, from those 31s, it was probably about three positions that were 50-50, and really no one knew what was happening with Waisake Naholo. So there was a huge squad call, but we'll start back at the beginning and, of course, have a look through the squad. Now, if you've got your team that you want to have a chat to me about their 31-man squad as well, do get in touch with me. Leave me a comment or get in touch through the message system. We can have a chat about your team. You know, like I've said, most of the UK will be covered now. South Africa as well. Already done Australia. So anything other than that, if you'd like to have your say, we still have the Argentinians to cover as well, so plenty more to come. Get in touch if you'd like to have a chat about some of your teams out there. So this All Black side, let's have a look and dig straight into this one. We'll start off at the top like we did last time with the hookers, and there's really no surprise. These three were always going to be there unless something catastrophic happened in training or something like that. Dane Coles, Kevin Mealamu, Cody Taylor, those three fought it out and were in the running, especially Coles and Mealamu, always going to be there. Cody Taylor probably played his way in from that South African test ahead of Hicker Elliott, who was a revelation this year in Super Rugby, but just couldn't quite stamp his authority in a black jersey. Cody Taylor, once again, very good in that South African test match, and that was really what sealed his spot as the number 3 hooker for the All Blacks. So we move on straight to the props, and the All Blacks, as expected, as I predicted, go with 5 props, and Charlie Faumuina, possibly the lucky one out of this group of 5, just with his injury, but the 5 picked will be Woodcock, Owen Franks, Ben Franks, Wyatt Crockett, and Charlie Faumuina. So they're the 5, no surprises here. Faumuina come down to his injury. He had half a game for Auckland in the ITM Cup, which they deemed to be enough to pull him in. Then we got Crockett, you know, he's been there a long time, almost picks himself alongside the 2 Franks brothers and Tony Woodcock. He possibly fell here for Nepo Lalala, but he was never really, you know, asserted into that squad, really tested against Faumuina, who they really do like, the All Black selectors. So the second that he was fit and ready to go, he was straight into that team. If anyone goes down in a heap here for the All Blacks in the front row, you can expect the likes of Nepo Lalala and Hicker Elliott will be called over to England for to cover those positions should there be any injuries there. So with the second row is where we start to look at the first 50-50 call that we thought about this All Blacks side. It was expected and predicted by many people that the All Blacks were going to go with 3 locks and 6 flankers, and in the end that is exactly what they have done. Retallick, Whitelock and Romano, those 3 have played just about every single test this year for the All Blacks. You feel for the likes of Jeremy Thrush, who was in the frame, just never really got the opportunity or the chance to assert himself this season either, so he falls away. Also picked up a bit of a knock about a week ago, playing for Wellington. I'm not sure how bad he is, but he'll be first one off the rank as well if someone goes down the heat. Well, that means that, as we discussed in my prediction video, that one of these 6, or possibly 2 or 3 of these 6 flankers will have to cover lock at some occasion, and you'd think against the likes of the Minnow Nations, that's where that could happen. Now the 6 they've gone with are Liam Messam, Richie McCaw, Sam Kane, Kieran Reid, Jerome Kaino, and Victor Vito. So out of those, 5 picked themselves, no question. Liam Messam is lucky. I think he's very lucky, and I think his form has been absolutely atrocious this year, but it's only form. We know Liam Messam is a good enough player to play at the top level, but if he can't rediscover that form, he could have a very long World Cup to try and battle through. Hopefully he finds his mojo back, because he's a bit of an enforcer, like a Jerome Kaino as well. They need him, they need his dynamic influence at 6 as well, and he'll probably be one of the ones to cover the second row. But, you know, you got Rotalic, Whitelock, Romano, 3 very good locks as well. There shouldn't be too much problem. You'd have one on the bench that will cover the back row and the second row, the likes of a Messam or a Kaino Vito possibly as well. We all know, you know, the flankers like Kane and McCaw can jump in the line every now and then. I think they've got it pretty well covered, and it was fairly expected that that's how they would go with those second row and back row players. Another contentious position was the scrum halves, but I think all along everyone knew deep down that they would always go with 3 and wouldn't really buck the trend, especially when the one that would possibly get dropped is the one that Hansen has previously said they would not drop due to injury. So that was Tawera Kurabalo. The other 2, of course, Aaron Smith, Perenara, TJ Perenara, and Tawera Kurabalo number 3. So, you know, Kurabalo was never going to go due to being injured, and due to the coaching staff saying he's been injured, he's got a chance to redeem himself. We're not going to drop him down the pecking order because of an injury. You know, so he's got the opportunity here. He's been given a lifeline, and you know, this could be a great opportunity for Kurabalo to step up. 3 halfbacks, 3 scrum halves. It's pretty much the expected, the normal. And once again, it's only Australia that are really bucking that trend as well. Into the fly halves, and we go to the number 10s. And again, there was 2 names who are always going to be certain on this list, and that's Daniel Carter and Bowden Barrett. Those 2 already booked their tickets months ago. Colin Slade was the 3rd one. He has been picked for the 31-man squad for the All Blacks. That means Lima Sopoaga does miss out, but like we spoke of in the prediction video, it's versatility. Now, a lot of people are a bit annoyed about the whole versatility thing, but you think of Colin Slade, and like some of you mentioned in the comments, Colin Slade can play through from 9 to 15. That is complete versatility throughout the whole backline. And the same goes with the scrum halves as well. Some were thinking the likes of Andy Ellis should be picked in the 31, but I think Andy Ellis is very much off the pace of these top 3. It's a pretty touchy subject. A lot of people are very pro one or the other, and you know, between Kurabalo and Andy Ellis. But I think Kurabalo, you know, he's younger, he's quicker, more explosive, stronger than Andy Ellis, and I think especially against Samoa, there was a lot of doubt over Andy Ellis. It really showed. That was probably his chance, Andy Ellis, but he just didn't quite hit the peaks that he would have liked, and I think that was the last we'll see of Andy Ellis for an All Black jersey, that's for sure. These 3 should definitely be carving away in the future, especially Perenara and Kurabalo getting up to the level of Aaron Smith. So Carter, Barrett, Slade, they're the 10s. Of course, Slade's cover, big part of why he selected Sopoaga. Disappointing for him to miss out, but I feel his lack of versatility is what has got him the chop. You know, people say Daniel Carter can only play 10, maybe 12, but the All Blacks have never been fussed on playing Carter at 12, but he's the number 1. Daniel Carter is number 1. If he plays, it's a 10. You know, it's not like he's a 3rd choice where he's not going to start the important games. You know, if Daniel Carter was 3rd choice, he could be on the chopping block as well, like Sopoaga is. I think that's why Colin Slade is there. He can play all through the whole backline. Barrett can cover fullback as well, and he's so damn quick, he could play anywhere on the wings as well. But that's the number 10s, that's the fly halves. We'll go through to the centres, and no surprise here at all either. Nonu, Smith, Sonny Bill Williams, and Malakai Fekitoa. Those 4 have been in the mix for so long now, it was a no-brainer picking them. Again, you feel sorry for someone like Ryan Crotty, but there's just not enough room. And Crotty is sort of fallen off the pace, sort of fallen out of favour with the All Black selectors as well. We haven't seen a huge amount of him in 2015, which has not helped his cause at all. But, you know, Nonu Smith, Williams, Feketawa, that is four extremely good, world class as well, inside and outside centres. And, you know, someone like Feketawa and Sonny Bill Williams have played on the wing before. Nonu started on the wing, but I can't see he'll ever get out there in this World Cup. And Sonny Bill Williams' form, a lot of mention, has been extremely poor. But again, it's back to the likes of Liam Messam. We know they're capable at this level, and they just need to get that mojo back, get that form back. And I think the World Cup is the ultimate place already. You don't want to peak too early for the Rugby World Cup as well. That's a big thing. You have to time it right. And I have huge confidence in Sonny Bill Williams. He's a big game player, and come Rugby World Cup, you know, that's big game time, and I expect him fully to step up for the Rugby World Cup. So it's the back three. 11, 14, and 15. So 3 will play. 4 are selected. That is all that is left. 4 names. And how about this? I predicted it'll be Julian Savia. Tick him off. I thought it'd be Charles Piutau. Pick him off. Milner Scudder and Ben Smith. But no. That's not what happened. Mr. Leafman, Waisake Naholo, has come from nowhere. Leafs! I just still can't believe and comprehend what has happened here. He's gone to Fiji and got leaves wrapped around his legs. He is now in the All Blacks 31-man World Cup squad. He's running on that leg again. He is back to it. So Savia, Julian Savia, Waisake Naholo, Nehe Milner Scudder, and Ben Smith. Wow, I'm happy with this. Don't get me wrong here. I'm a huge fan of what Waisake Naholo has done this year. He is so dangerous, so dangerous. He's probably the best winger in New Zealand at the moment, based on, you know, Super Rugby form. But key figures, key X Factor, man. Naholo, he's got that in absolute spades. X Factor, that is what he is all about. And I'm not surprised they've rushed him back. He's fit, he's proved he's fit, he's proved he's ready to go. And we know what he can do. You know, he only played just over around 40 minutes against Argentina. How many times did he rip them to shreds? I mean, what's he going to do to Namibia? Oh, goodness me. Yeah, he's going to be a massive part. I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, Savia and Naholo, big game time. Argentina even, first match of the World Cup, that will be the starting wingers. Backward will start it for Naholo as well. Milner Scudder, big choice as well. Put him in the team. I think he fully deserves it. And he'll cover fullback as well, where he naturally started for the good old Manawatu Turbos. And Ben Smith, number 1 fullback, no question, and there's no doubt about it right now. Now, I know a lot of you are probably tearing your hair out at the moment and saying, Corey Jane, Israel Dag, rip, pull my hair out, throw it away. Corey Jane, injury prone. I'm sorry, but he's almost a liability. He's got no form at all. He's been out most of the season with injuries, niggly injuries, bad injuries, half bad injuries, kind of injured, not really injured, but not injured to play enough, but still not playing, but playing again now. He's been all over the shop. Let's be fair. Corey Jane has just had a horrid season. Take nothing away from his previous matches. I know some of you may think that I'm not a Corey Jane fan at all, but I think he is a fantastic player. He was a fantastic player. Let me reword that. A couple of years ago, when he was at his best, he was elusive, fast, acceleration was huge, agile, you know, his kicking game, his catching. He had all the core skills of a Jeff Wilson-like winger. He was so quick and so dangerous, you could not let him out of your sight. He would stand you up and be gone. He's lost that edge. He's lost that little nick. I feel sorry for Corey Jane. He's a fantastic person. But when it comes to a Rugby World Cup team, can you afford, when you're only taking 4 outside backs, can you afford to have someone so injury prone and not at the top of their game? Let's see, like Savia, he's not at the top of his game either, but he's not been injured at all. He'll come good. I think Savia showed glimpses in that last match against Australia that he is coming back, hopefully, to his best. You know, and then you look, Naholo, Milner Scudder, Ben Smith. Form plus those 3. So Jane was just going to, I think, be too much of a liability for the team. If someone goes down injured, he will be my number one call-up. If Naholo re-breaks his leg, or his fibia, whatever the hell it was that he broke, call up Jane. Bring Jane and bring a mate as well, because Jane might not last either. But Jane should be next man in the team. The other one that you probably all tear and hair out over is Israel Dagg. Now, if you've been tuning into my videos for a while, you'll know I'm no huge Israel Dagg fan. Sure, 2011, he was pretty good, and rightfully so. He displaced Mills Muliaina as the number one fullback in the All Blacks. He was good then. He broke the line. He was unpredictable, and he did things. He created chances. He was safe under the high ball, and he kept Ben Smith out of the All Black team for quite some time due to the fact that he was never that bad, but he was never that good. It's the old case of it ain't broke, don't fix it. It was what the All Black selectors kept on doing, but I think the level deteriorated for Israel Dagg until Ben Smith just had to get a chance. And, you know, last year, 2014, the selectors could not leave Ben Smith out of the team. He saw so much time on the wing because he was just so good that you couldn't leave him out. Israel Dagg had to give way in the end, and we've just seen no reprieve from him. Sure, he was good for Hawke's Bay in the ITM Cup, but it's tough to really gauge someone on ITM Cup level to go play in a Rugby World Cup, which is just, you know, that's the top echelon of rugby. So I'm pleased that Israel Dagg's on there. I think this four outside backs are the top. I think Piatau as well will really fight it out for Jane. I feel sorry for Piatau after his fantastic display against South Africa. I thought that would get him into the team if Naholo wasn't fit. I think if Naholo wasn't fit, it would be Piatau, and then Jane would be the next call-up. So I think if one of them goes down, Piatau and Jane is going to be the toss-up. I think they probably will go on ITM Cup form. Piatau will go back to Auckland, and Jane back to Wellington. Who knows? Who knows? Hopefully no one gets injured. Hopefully Naholo stays fit. And Israel Dagg, enjoy your time with Hawke's Bay. And who knows what the future will hold for Israel Dagg? Will he stay in the country? That's a big question. It's a big question for another day, and something we might look at, you know, all the players leaving New Zealand and the other, you know, countries around the world, going to other parts of the globe. But for now, that is the 31-man squad for the All Blacks. I think it's a very, very strong squad. I think it's good enough to win a World Cup. But, you know, it takes more than just being good enough to win a World Cup. South Africa will say they got a team good enough to win the World Cup. England will say their team's good enough to win a Rugby World Cup. And fair enough, all those teams would have a team good enough to win a Rugby World Cup. But who will? It's all about the top 2 inches. It's all about form. It's all about fitness. It's so much more than just the end skill of all the players and the squads assembled. It's going to be a fantastic tournament. I really would like to know what you all think about this All Blacks team as well. And if you'd like to have a chat about any of these squads, get in touch with me as well. What do you think about the All Blacks? Do you think this team is good enough to go to the Rugby World Cup and win back-to-back championships for the first time? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Hit that thumbs up if you enjoy these rugby discussion videos. As I said at the start, plenty more to come with the Northern Hemisphere sides all naming their teams over the next couple of days. England's already done. We're hearing that very soon as well. South Africa, Argentina, you know, some of the minnows as well. I don't know a huge amount about them, but I'll try my best very much to cover those sides as well. But for now, thank you for tuning in and watching. Hope you've enjoyed this little insight into the All Blacks Rugby World Cup 31-man squad. Until we meet again, thank you all for tuning in. Hit that thumbs up if you enjoy and agree with this All Blacks squad. And of course, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're new around here. And I'll see you all next time. Until then, take care.